One of my favorite things about Sundays is going to church. Now, I'm not a particularly religious woman, yet I do live my life aligned with many spiritual principles. These principles include things like what we put our attention on expands, to treat others as you would like to be treated, and to take time each day to connect with Spirit. These simple practices are what help you to stay connected to what's important in life, balanced and often sane. This past Sunday, the opportunity to attend my church of choice presented itself. I went to get dressed. I put on my denim shorts, my t-shirt, my hat, and my shoes. I found my gloves and my basket, and I opened the door to my favorite place to connect with Spirit, my garden. See, we've been traveling a lot this summer, so my yard is totally abundant with zinnias, sunflowers, basil, and tomatoes. And there were at least 2 bushels of weeds. Now, believe it or not, I enjoy weeding. Even though they're green and lush, they're super invasive. There's something very cathartic in pulling them out of the ground. Now, whether it's clothes or books, relationships or weeds, I feel space, literally, opening up for more of what I desire when I remove what no longer serves me. So I was yanking and grabbing, and this familiar thought of how weeds are like thoughts appeared. When you put your attention on what you're reading, watching, and thus thinking about daily, it's easy to remove the weeds, also the negative thoughts, right? However, when you begin to live by default and stop putting attention on ridding yourself of internal or external influences, you start to feel the results of those weeds growing immediately. It may show up as low energy, frustration, fear, disappointment, sometimes sadness or depression. This is definitely a place of contraction. And the crazy thing is, we do it to ourselves, right, with our thoughts. All of a sudden, the weeds are out of control, and it feels totally overwhelming to deal with them. Now, in the garden, you can hire someone to pull them for you. In our mind, the equivalent to this would be asking for help. Sure, you could hire a coach or maybe a therapist, which could be seen as a gardener for your mind. The trick is to not allow those weeds to get out of control in the first place. So I have a question for you. What kind of Roundup do you use for your spirit? What I share with my coaching clients are the following practices. And I want you to know that practice is the key word here. Creating a more positive and optimistic mindset, weed-free, is something that has to happen every day. Now, I'm not saying you need to monitor every thought because that would make you crazy. But there are 3 things that are most important that you can do to keep your mind weed-free. The first one I invite you to play with is to begin each day with thinking something positive. You could wake up each day and say something great is going to happen today. That's what I like to do, and then I'm on the lookout for it. Or you can spend a few minutes each day visualizing your important activities and imagine them working out as you want them to. Clarify what your desire is for the day, see it in your mind's eye, and experience it. And then last but not least, at the end of the day, spend some time thinking about what went well for you today. This is the exact opposite of what you did not accomplish. Remember, it's really rare that everything will be off your to-do list. So put your attention on what you want more of, and you'll feel good and thus attract it. When you begin to implement these simple strategies for positivity, you'll notice that you have more energy to accomplish what is really important to you. Your relationships will get better. And look, as one of my favorites, Stuart Smalley once said, you're good enough, you're smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like you. So yes, these are simple strategies, but sometimes not always easy to begin. So use the 1 day at a time system. And it begins with making a commitment to not let your weeds get out of control. There's always going to be a job to be the gardener of your soul. So enjoy the beauty of living a life that you love every day. Pay attention to how you feel and let the thoughts expand from there. I'm Wendy Watkins. Thanks for spending some time with me. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.